So after 7 years of running my business full-time hand cutting, I finally decided to get a plotter. Welcome back to the channel. It's Wayne from Faded Black. I know if you guys have seen any of my videos in the past, I've hand cut. Now I'm not gonna have the debate about hand cut versus plotting, okay? There are reasons to have both. There are reasons why I hand cut. There are plenty of reasons then you can kill it no matter which way you install. I'm not gonna even go against that argument because I don't even think it's an argument. I know for years and years and years, people could say, you don't need a plotter, you don't need a plotter, which you really don't need a plotter. I mean, you can cut film all day long like I did. I started learning how to tint in 1994 on the side of my house when I was getting ready to graduate high school. I was tinting my cars, tinting my friend cars, all the way up to last week. And I never had a plotter. So we all know that. You can do whatever you gotta do. In the next video, I'm gonna talk more about some reasons hand cutting versus plotting in my situation. But in this video, I'm gonna talk 100% on the software I'm using and the plotter that I decided to buy. All right, so I'm running film and vinyl designs. I picked up a little laptop. I've been trying to familiarize myself with it. One of the reasons why I wanted to run FVD because they had semi-truck patterns in there, and they also have a lot of side-by-side, you know, the Can-Ams and the Polaris, they have a lot of those patterns in there as well. Those two things, especially the side-by-sides, for me, hand cutting them, they're not hard to do, but they are a pain. And the new ones have so many windows in them, and I'm like thinking to myself, man, if I could hand cut these. And I mean, I've been doing them for a few years now, but it's like, I thought to myself, like, if I could get a freaking plotter to plot these out and have them ready to go, I would love to do that. Trucks and stuff like that aren't that big of deals. Cars to me are getting to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because the windows are so much tighter and technical, but here in Wisconsin, I do a lot of trucks, you know, and big windshields. So those, piece of cake. But those little side-by-sides, man, all those little windows in them, the triangles, all the side windows, like I said, they're not hard, but I thought to myself, if I can be plotting these out, it would save me so much time. So those are one of the things, vehicles that just kind of frustrate me. So I wanted to really have a plotter for that. Now, Film and Vinyl Designs has a lot of those patterns in there. They have semi-trucks. We were doing a lot of semi-trucks over here from a customer of mine, and if I could have been plotting those semi-trucks out, it would have saved me a lot of times for those two, climbing up on the side of the semi-truck, making the patterns, jumping down off the semi-trucks. It would have saved a lot of time for that too. So that was another reason why I was like, man, if I had a plotter. So I've been thinking about plotter as my business has adjusted over the last few years. So Film and Vinyl Design has a lot of those things that I want in there. Also, 2025, I wanted to start doing more PPF, all right? So Film and Vinyl Designs, you can get the tint and the PPF with the software, boom. Now, I'm not gonna go back and forth between, you know, Core or Film and Vinyl Designs or all the different software companies. I'm not gonna do all that because there's pros and cons with all of them. You know, you see things online about pricing and everything else, but there's pros and cons with all of that. So we won't even go into that, but I've been using Film and Vinyl Design honestly only for a couple of weeks. I sit down and mess with it as much as I can when I have time to kind of get familiar with it. You can adjust the patterns, you can enlarge them. They got small patterns and they have larger patterns. They got a lot of windshields, a lot of variations for a lot of different things, so I like that. So I'm on Film and Vinyl Designs for software. Now, let's talk about the plotter and why I got this one. So I got the Workhorse 3 plotter from Plotter Depot. It just came out. I waited like 2 months to get this plotter. And as you can see behind me, it is red. I'm not a big, huge fan of red, but it does look different. When people walk into my shop, they can see it, you know, than the normal black or whatever the case. So the plotter is red. All right, so let's talk about why I got this plotter. Now, of course, I thought right away, man, I'd love to have a Graphtec or a Roland. I'm gonna be honest with you, they are pricey machines. Now, I know you can make your money off of them, but they are pricey machines. Some people I know, a lot of my friends in Wisconsin that tint, they have Graphtecs and Rolands. They're killing it. So I know that it is a worthwhile investment, but I feel like I didn't want to spend that amount of money right now. I've been in my shop, like I said, a couple years. I'm still changing things. I'm running a lot. So I didn't, and I'm not gonna be here 24/7 every day from morning till sundown. I'm gonna be running a lot still. We'll talk about that in the next video. So I was doing some research, and a lot of people said they liked the Workhorse 2. They said it cuts good, it's been reliable, people have had it for years, and they said it was good. So when I went on Plotter Depot to look at the Workhorse 2, they said that the 3 was available. All right, so I looked at it, and they said it was out of stock. So I called, and they said it'd probably be about a month or so. So I ended up waiting I put a deposit down, ended up waiting about 2 months, and it came in. So far, cutting this thing the last few days, once you get that blade adjusted, man, it has been nice. One of the things with my business, I get here a few minutes early than my customers. I'm by appointment only, I don't do walk-ins. So I'll get here maybe 10 or 15 minutes up late in the last few days. I'll fire the plotter up, cut the patterns out. I have them ready to go when the customer walks in. I think yesterday I had the patterns cut out. Customer walked in, it was like 15 minutes. She was in and out for her front match, and she was like, wow, you're done already? I'm like, yeah, I cut the patterns out. Now, it's not always about speed, so let's not talk about that, but it was nice as I came in, while I was waiting for her, she was on the way, I knocked them out, and the patterns fit well, so that was awesome. But let's go over to this plotter. I'm gonna show you a couple things that I really like about this plotter so far from my early experience with it. So this is the Workhorse 3 from Plotter Depot. I like that it has the LED on it. One of the things that I really like about this plotter, it has rollers, so you can do many different size of rolls for a window tint. I mean, you can do 20-inch rolls, you can do the 24-inch rolls, you can do 36-inch rolls, and also you can do 40. Now, I've generally been a big fan of 24s and 36s, and with this plotter, you can do like all of them. I got 20-inch rolls that I use just for visor strips. So with this machine, you'll be able to do any size roll. I've used 20s, I've used 24s, and I've used 36s on here already, just fine. They roll out absolutely just fine. What I looked at Kevin Rogers' tips, all my rollers are set very loose on the back of them. They're adjusted very loose. I put the Gorilla Tape over the cut head of the Teflon from Ralph, and Kevin have talked about tips of that. So far, it's been working awesome. And one of the other things I really like about this plotter is it has a digital touchscreen on here. So basically when you're just touching, you can go through your menus. You don't have to hit buttons and go back and forth. You can really just go through the menus right on here touchscreen. And it's quick, it's instant, it works awesome. Everything that you need to do and set up is right here in the menu on this plotter, and you can go home, move. Man, I'm telling you, it just works out really good from what I've seen so far. Everything works, it's super responsive. It has a little Workhorse 3 logo up there. I mean, you can adjust the blade and the force, everything from this home screen. Another thing that is really nice is you can hit configure, and you can set 4 different presets on here. So I got one set up for tint, I got one set up for PPF, and I got another set up for another brand of tint, because I switch between brands of tint. So I got all that set up on here, so you can set the configurations and presets for different things that you're cutting. So I could do another one for vinyl if I want, you know? So I love that. And like I said, everything's on this touchscreen. I don't use any of these other buttons but directions. And also when you're moving, you could just use the touchscreen instead of even hitting the button. So pretty much you can do everything from this touchpad and not even use the buttons. So I love that about this. And it does come with the basket too. So all that came in there. So man, like I said before, you can adjust the brightness of the LEDs. Or I haven't had much time, it's only been a week. Today is a week of having it, and not to mention the time of setup and trial and error and things like that. So I haven't been running it that long. So I'm just gonna say that right now. But one of the things I did want to mention, I was looking around for used Rollins, I was looking around for used Graphtecs, and for the amount of money to spend for a used one, I thought to myself, man, I can get this brand new with parts and warranty, shipped here and everything else like that. And I'm like, man, it's hard to get something old that's been running for so many years and not know the history of it, or get something brand new, work the kinks out of it and be up and running. So I'm not unfamiliar with plotters. Like I had a cheap US vinyl cutter plotter, 28-inch. I could have cut tint out on that. I just use it for vinyl decals. So I understand how to set plotters up, how to adjust blades, and how to get the cutting strip to work. I understand all that because I've been using that plotter for years to make vinyl decals. And I got some videos on this channel with me making vinyl decals with that plotter. So I'm familiar with plotters, okay? So like I said before, I don't have a lot of time on this. I'm getting this set up. It's been running good. Actually, right now the pattern's gone because while I've been doing this video, I had a customer come in. We used those patterns and they were gone. Patterns fit good. So, and they were cut out good. So, I have a next video talking a little bit more about how I'm gonna use the plotter in my business, because we all know everyone's business is different. Maybe that'll help you guys out. Maybe that'll give you kind of some info, maybe give you some thoughts of how you can use your plotter, or how you've been hand cutting and adjusting to plotter life. So check that video out. That video will be coming. Until next time, I hope I gave you some information on this. I'm not gonna say it's the best or the greatest, but I'm saying it's working good for me as far as now goes. We'll have some more time down the road. But until next video, stay faded. Thanks for watching. Peace.